Danville Elementary and Danville Secondary. It's awesome to see you. Wait, I can't see you. But it's awesome to be here to answer your questions that you sent me. I hope you all had a great holiday break. It was a great Christmas for me. You can see, still got the Christmas tree in the background and our stockings above the fireplace. So I'm going to answer your questions. I love your questions because some of them are absolutely amazing questions that I've never heard before. So let's get started. First question. How are you able to hear without ears? What? I can't hear you. Oh, I can hear you. I don't have ears, but I can still hear. Isn't that crazy? What are ears for? Hearing. I don't have ears, but I can hear. So what are ears for? Hearing? That doesn't make any sense at all. So your ears on the side of your head do help you hear. They do certain things with certain sounds and stuff like that. But I can hear just fine even though I don't have ears, because really what you hear with is inside of your head. So I still have the holes so that I can still hear. But I don't have my ears anymore and I can still hear. So your ears really are just for holding your earrings in and holding your glasses up. That's about it. So that's how I am still able to hear even without ears. That's one of my favorite questions, especially when somebody asks in person, because I always say, what? And they're like, how do you hear with no ears? And they get really loud because they think I can't hear them. I can. So I'd like to play a joke. How do you put your robot leg on? That is a good question. So every night when I go to bed, I take my robot leg off. And then every morning when I wake up, I put my robot leg back on. So I actually have a sleeve that I wear. It's made of rubber. And it's actually made of like a bunch of different things, like rubber and latex and all these other things. So I roll my sleeve on, and then at the end of my leg, at the end of my sleeve actually, there's a pin that clicks into my robot leg. So once I hear 4 or 5 clicks, I know that my robot leg is on really well and it's not going to fall off. So that is how I put my robot leg on. Pretty cool how they were able to do that, how a prosthetic person, a guy who makes my prosthetic leg, which is actually what it's called, but robot leg sounds way cooler, as you know. That's who makes the robot leg, is my prosthetic maker. Oh, you can hear maybe Toby in the background. That's my other dog who's in the book. He's outside right now and he's barking because he wants to come in. But if he comes in, he would also bring the puppy in. I didn't tell you that I got a puppy. His name is Rocky, and Rocky is a Newfoundland. So we do have a puppy as well. I'll show you some pictures of both Toby and the puppy in here. So you can see how cute they are. How did Amos call 911? Amos called 911 with a special phone. So he had a phone that was really close to the ground. It was on the wall, but it was closer to the floor. And if I ever needed to call 911, when you are calling 911, usually there's an emergency and you are in need of help. So the command for Amos to call 911 was Amos, help. And Amos would walk over to the phone. He would knock the phone off the hook with his nose, and then he would dial any button, because I said it was a special phone, and the phone would automatically call 911. So, and then it would go onto speaker so that I could talk to whoever. And that was if I ever fell or something like that. Thankfully, we never had to use that, but we did practice it with him, so he did know how to call 911. Can Amos write? Amos can only write in cursive. It's really weird how he can only write in cursive. No, I'm just kidding. Amos cannot write. How cool would that be? Amos cannot drive a car either. That would be cool too. But no, he cannot write. He cannot drive a car. How do you get dressed? The same way you do. Unless your mom and dad helped you still. I don't have my mom and dad help me anymore. I'm too old for that. So I get myself dressed. I just figured things out. The one thing I do have problems with is right here. What's this? Buttons. Buttons are hard for me. Either I just don't do the buttons, so I'll leave everything buttoned up. Like if I wear a button-down shirt, I just don't undo the buttons and I pull over my head. I can do buttons, they just take a long time. So I have a special tool called a button hook, that does the buttons, but it doesn't work the best. It takes a long time. So a lot of times I don't undo my buttons, and I'll just pull it over my head. In the same way with pants, if it has a button on it, I just don't undo them. And difficulty, but I don't do this one either, tying shoes. I can't really tie my own shoes. So I, usually will have my wife tie my shoes or my daughter tie my shoes, and then I don't need them to tie them again for a very long time because I just slide my feet in and out of the shoe. And a lot of times when I wear dress shoes, I just don't wear laces in my shoes. I wear slip-on shoes. So that is how I get dressed. How can your dog talk to 911? Yeah, that doesn't work out too well. They would not understand what he was saying because he would just bark, and people don't understand what dogs are saying when they're barking. So he doesn't actually talk to 911. He can call 911, but I do the talking. So it would go to speakerphone so that I could talk. Can I drive? I can drive. I actually love to drive, and the reason I can drive is because I wanted to drive. That's why we do a lot of things that we do in life. We do them because we want to do them. I wanted to drive again, so I figured out how to drive. Yeah, I don't have any special tools or anything in my car. I can drive any car. But really, it came down to just I wanted to do it bad enough, and when you want to do something really bad, guess what you do? You do it. You figure out how to do it. So that's why I drive, or that's how I drive with no special tools. I did have special tools when I first learned, but I don't anymore. How are you so cool? Well, I didn't know I was so cool until I saw that question. I appreciate that. It's you saying that I am cool. My daughter and I have two daughters. You saw in the book. I don't know if they think I'm all that cool because I'm dad. Sometimes dads are cool and sometimes they're not cool. No, I think my daughters think I'm cool too. But how are you so cool? That's just a cool question. I don't know how to answer that one exactly. I love doing what I do, and I love meeting new people. And I think all the people that I meet are cool. So whoever asked me that question, I'm sure you're cool as well. So how are you so cool? That's a cool question. Thank you for that. Why did you get 2 new cats and a new dog? Well, so I had Amos first. That was my first pet. And then I got a cat, Ellie. That's who I got first after an Amos. And then I met my wife and we got married, and she wanted a couple of other animals as well. So we ended up getting, I think we got Sophia first. So that was our cat. And then we got Toby. And then just recently is when we got Rocky, our Newfoundland. Why did you join the Army? Well, I joined the Army for a lot of reasons, but I would say the biggest reason was I just needed a really good job. Like, I wanted to do something that helped people, and I wanted to, and I knew the Army would help me do that. I knew that I could help people when I joined the Army. So that was one of the biggest reasons that I joined the military. Other ones are I wanted to be a police officer, and I knew that the Army would help me become a police officer at some point. So those are some of the reasons. I have a lot of reasons, but those are just a few of them. That's a great question. That's one of my favorite questions. When did I become a soldier? So I was 21 years old when I became a soldier. And I am 43 years old now, so it was a long time ago that I became a soldier. A long time ago. It's crazy to think about how long ago it was, actually. So that is when I became a soldier. I was 21 years old. What schools have I gone to? I can't even tell you that one because there's so many. We've been to thousands of schools. Tom and I, or as you know him, Mr. Incredible, and I have been to thousands of different schools. It's unbelievable. So we've been in Vermont, obviously, because that's where you are. But we've also been in a lot of schools in New York. We've been in schools in Ohio. We've been in schools in Texas. We've been in schools in California. We've been in schools in Pennsylvania. We've been in schools in Virginia. We've been in schools in Louisiana. We've been in schools in Kentucky. We've been in schools in Hawaii. Actually, Tom, Mr. Incredible, got to go to Hawaii. I did not, which is a big bummer because Hawaii is really nice. Those are just some. We've been in other states as well. We're going to Alaska this year. I don't think we're going to get to talk to any students. We're going to get to talk to adults. But yeah, a lot of different states we've been in, and it's really cool. Oh, we've been in Colorado. Forgot about that one. So yeah, a lot of different states that we've been in, and but we mostly do schools in New York and Vermont. That's where we are the most. How did I get hurt? So I told you when I met you that I was a soldier, and when I was a soldier, the vehicle that I was in, which is actually called a Bradley, it's like a tank, actually caught on fire. There are a lot of reasons that it caught on fire. Maybe your teachers will tell you a little bit more about that. Sorry to put you on the spot. But there was a fire, and that is why I look so incredibly handsome today, is because I am very lucky that I survived a fire, and that happened a long time ago, 19 years ago. That happened is the year of 2006. So a long time ago that happened. Pretty crazy to think about that it happened that long ago. So, yeah, I was in a vehicle that was on fire called the Bradley, and that's how I got hurt. Now, I hurt my leg because I had to get away from the fire and I had to jump off of the Bradley, which is 10 feet tall. That's the same height as a basketball hoop, so it's really high. But the bigger problem was I couldn't see because of the fire. So when I landed on the ground, I couldn't see the ground, and when I landed, I broke my leg really, really bad. Now, you know, if you break your leg, you get a cast. You get a cast or something like that, and then your leg heals and you're okay. Mine was different. So I hurt my leg very badly, and I couldn't wear cast. So I ended up with a robot leg. So that is the quick answer of how I got hurt. How old was I when I joined the Army? Can you remember? I told you. I was 21 years old when I joined the Army. Are you able to smell? That's a funny question. I think the question would be better if you said, do you smell? Oh, I hope not. I hope I don't smell. Can I smell? Yes. And how am I able to smell? Same thing. I don't have a nose, but it still works because I still have the holes that I can smell. So really what you smell with is inside, and it's part of your senses, just like hearing and eyesight, and I can still see just fine. I lost a little bit of vision, not too much. And I also can taste. That did not get affected. Biggest one though, if you think about it, I forgot one sense so far. What sense did I forget? I talked about hearing, I talked about smell, I talked about taste, I talked about hearing. I didn't talk about touch, feel. So my hands. I can't really feel with my hands because of my burns, because I got injured. I can't really feel. So that's not a really good thing, because if I touch something really hot, guess what? I don't know it's hot. That means it doesn't hurt, but that still means I do get an injury. So I burn my hands sometimes when I touch something hot and I don't know it's hot. So I got to be very, very careful. So yeah, so that is, I am able to still smell, but that always makes me think about all of my senses, and my hands don't work that well, especially with feeling. Is Amos still alive? So that is a tough one. I don't talk about that one with the little ones too often, but Amos is not. He passed away a little over a year ago, and actually he passed away in October of last year, so it was October of 2024. And actually, if you look in the book on the bridge, you'll see that I hid something kind of on the bridge, so some people will notice that. And it's the date that he was born, which was on Christmas Day, and then the other date is the date that he passed away in October of 2024. So Amos was almost 14 years old, and that is a really long life for a dog, and he had a really good life. So yeah, I was really sad when Amos passed, but I think about all of the great memories that I still have with Amos. I think about those great memories every single day. So no, Amos is not alive anymore, but he is always with me, right? He's always in my heart, and he's always in my mind. So I think about Amos all the time. How am I doing now? I am doing great. I am doing really, really well. I would say that I'm happier than ever. And I know it's hard for people to understand with what happened to me and what I used to look like before and what I look like now, but I am. I'm really, really happy. You saw in the book, I have my wife, Amy, and I have my daughters, Tenley and Grace, and I have my dog, Toby, and I have my cats, Ellie and Sophia, and we have our new puppy, Rocky. So I am happy. I really, really am. And I am happy because I choose to be happy and I choose to find really good things, even though things get tough sometimes and sometimes things are hard. That's just life in general. Some things are hard for you, and you don't look like this and you don't have hands like this, but still some things are hard. But I choose to be happy even when things are hard. So, great question. How am I doing that? And I appreciate you for asking that. I hope you are doing well as well. And then last but certainly not least, the next question is, did Amos get married? No, Amos did not get married. Dogs can't get married. Well, maybe in books they can. I could have wrote that about him getting married. That wouldn't be true. Amos did not get married, but Amos did get to be in a wedding. As you know from the book, he got to be in my wedding when I married my wife, Amy. Those were amazing questions. I love answering your questions. I really appreciate you telling me to have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. I definitely did have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. And you know what? I really hope I get to see you all again. I really do. I had a great time at your school, and I look forward to maybe seeing you again. And I really hope you loved the answers that I gave you about all the amazing questions that you asked me. Hey, have a great rest of your school year, okay? And I hope I get to see you all again soon. Take care, everybody.